Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. Today I am going to be talking about why I am no longer selling on Etsy. So if you follow me here, you know that I sell on eBay. I source items from estate sales and thrift stores and I sell them on eBay. And I've been doing that since 2005. And this past year, I decided to try to expand into a couple other sites, including Poshmark and Etsy. Since I sell a lot of vintage stuff, Etsy seemed like a natural place to go. And so I thought I would give it a try. And I had very mixed results. And as of right now, as we come to the end of the year, I am no longer selling on Etsy. I've pulled everything out of my Etsy shop. And I'm just going to talk about why. So if that interests you, keep watching. And yeah, let's get started talking about why I quit Etsy. Okay, so I really have nothing bad to say about Etsy. This isn't going to be a video of me bashing Etsy. It just hasn't worked for me. So Etsy is it's an online site where you can sell handmade items. So a lot of crafters, that's really how it started, was crafters have sold their wares there. You can also sell supplies, crafting supplies. And then you can sell vintage. And Etsy determines vintage right now, as I make this video on December 18th, 2018, as anything that was made before 1999. So up to 1998 and before in Etsy's book is considered vintage. Well, I sell a lot of vintage. So I finally decided, with all the changes eBay has been going through this past year, sales have been down, there have been all kinds of glitches, and it's just been a mess on eBay, that I would give Etsy a try, that I would start cross-posting vintage items I had on eBay, as well as craft supplies, and cross-posting them to Etsy. So with Etsy, one thing that I have learned that is not working for me is that I don't have an overall look or focus or aesthetic to my stuff. I just buy what I can find and resell it. I'm not focused on only mid-century modern or jewelry or glass or whatever else. My eBay store is a hodgepodge of stuff. And with Etsy, I've definitely learned that having a focus to your shop is really important. And that is why some people have multiple Etsy shops, because they're dividing their stuff. They may have a jewelry shop, and they may have, like I said, mid-century modern, just glassware, this, that, and the other. And that's their focus. So I don't want to run a bunch of multiple shops. So that wasn't going to work for me. So I was just throwing up my stuff as it was. Same one. And I had sales. I probably averaged about, after fees, about $300 a month on Etsy when I was listing on Etsy, which is, fine. Supplement, especially with eBay being so slow this past year. And that was fine. But there was the time involved in, of course, cross-posting. And 10 to 1... my items sell on eBay first. So I would go to the effort to cross-post and then have to take it down because it was selling on eBay. So there was that. And you do have to pay to list on Etsy. It's not free like the way it is on Poshmark. It is cheap. It's 20 cents for every 4 months. So 5 cents a month. It's not like the fees are crazy at all. But there's still fees. So for me to be putting stuff up there and then me having to take it down because it didn't sell, it's kind of a waste. And it was very time consuming. So there was that. The other thing is the Etsy algorithm. And like I said, Etsy likes, a kind of look to your shop. They also have a lot of stuff that they want you to fill out when you list. Now, I'm used to filling out a lot of categories or information when I list on eBay, so that wasn't it. But Etsy really wants you to be very specific in how you're listing things. And there's a whole, you can Google Etsy algorithm and read all these articles about how Etsy wants you to do things and how it feeds into Google and search and blah, 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 blah. And I'm like, I already know the eBay algorithm. I don't want to have to learn another one. So that was just like, oh, you've got to be kidding me. Why do I have to do all this? The one thing they have are tags. You can add up to like 13 tags, which are basically keywords, which again is fine, but again, time consuming, going through and figuring out all these tags and making sure your title is the way Etsy wants it. And Etsy, buyers like fancy photos. And I try to do my pictures the best I can, but at the end of the day, again, it's eBay. I do the best I can. There they go. People who do full-time Etsy really, really put a lot of time and effort into cultivating their items, how they are presented, and really building a brand on Etsy for themselves. And I just don't have the time nor desire to do that. I just want to get the stuff I get, list it, sell it. There we go. So the whole algorithm, shops, look, blah, 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 on Etsy, just no time, no interest for me. Now, does that mean you shouldn't sell on Etsy? Absolutely not. Like I said in my Poshmark video, exploring all of your options to sell online is the best thing that you can do, because times are changing. If you've been an eBay seller for a long time like I have, you know that, this past year has been hard on eBay, a lot of changes there, which is why I started Etsy and Poshmark to see how those sites work. I'm not selling on those two sites right now. I am just back to eBay, but I'm really glad I did it because I know how both sites work. I have accounts established there. I have my closet and my shop. They're all established. I have history there. And if I did want to start listing again on either site, I could just start listing again. I don't have to go through the whole process of setting up new accounts and figuring it out. I know how to work it. If you are an eBay seller already, I think Etsy is a pretty easy transition if you do want to start selling on another site. The format in terms of the layout, they are different, but they really are kind of similar. You need your title and your photo and all your little descriptions that they put in the form, and the shipping is very much the same. So if you're doing calculated like I do, that's easy to set up. You can, they have a lot of different shipping options just like eBay does. So what I did is I created shipping profiles. So I would have like a medium mail or first class or parcel or whatever it was. And you set that up. There is a learning curve, of course, but if you've been doing eBay for a really long time, I felt like the shipping was easy to figure out. Different from eBay, but then kind of the same. So I didn't have a problem there. I did, like I said, I did sell things on Etsy, and I sold things from all categories. I sold toys, I sold ephemera, I sold china, I sold flatware, I sold collectibles. One could say, well, just start a flatware Etsy shop, and then another china Etsy shop, and then another toy Etsy shop. And one could very well do that. I'm not going to do that when I can just list it all on eBay in my eBay store. One account, easy to do. It sells there faster than it would sell on Etsy for me anyway. So that is just what I've chosen to do. So as of right now, in the foreseeable future, I don't see selling on Etsy. I've had people like, oh, you have all that crafting stuff, you should put it on Etsy. But it's selling on eBay. If it's selling on eBay, why go to another site and pay fees and go through all the time and effort to list for it maybe to sell there, but it's probably just going to sell on eBay first. So again, this isn't me bashing Etsy at all. I think if you do sell vintage items, you have crafting items, or you make stuff yourself, try Etsy. At least get your account set up. At least learn how to list there. Educate yourself so that you have it ready. Just like with Poshmark, if you do clothes, try Poshmark. At least try it. Teach yourself how it works. And then it's there in case of who knows what could come up with eBay. Or maybe you do decide that you kind of have a focus that you want to do with vintage, or you make stuff, or you have craft supplies and you want to try Etsy. It's easy. If you know eBay already, Etsy's pretty easy to list. It's more time consuming because they throw all these extra little fields at you, especially the tags. People get tripped up on the tags, which are basically keywords. But at least try it. At least educate yourself with how it works, and then it's there if you need it. But for right now, I don't need it, so I'm not going to do it. I'm just going to do eBay, and I'm really happy with where I am with just eBay right now. Things are going fine. They're not the way they were a year ago, but they're fine. And I really feel like going forward, for me personally, if I can just put the time and effort and all my focus into eBay, I can just make it work. And Etsy and Poshmark, not right now, but they're there if I want to go back. So that is why I am not selling on Etsy. If you like this video, give it a thumbs up. If you sell on Etsy, leave a comment below. Leave what your Etsy shop is. And, advertise your shop. Get people to follow your shop. Do all that Etsy shop. It sounds very British. I have an Etsy shop. I've added to my Etsy shop. I'm like, it's not my crap's in my eBay store, whatever. But anyway, I hope you guys liked this video. And I will see you again in the next one. Thanks for watching. Bye.